Vertigo Recovery Doctor. I'm Dr. Kevin Smith. I'm a vestibular physical therapist, and today I'm going to walk you through how to treat BPPV, specifically posterior canalithiasis, meaning those little crystals are floating around in the posterior canal. Now, if you're not sure on which canal is involved, then you can check out my video that I'll link to below on how to test for whether it's the posterior canal, the horizontal canal. It's kind of debated whether the anterior canal gets involved at all, but good news is that this maneuver will fix both posterior and anterior canal as long as they're floating around in the canal. So if you go into the testing position and you experience symptoms lasting less than a minute, and they're coming on when you get into that position, and typically people describe them as a spinning sensation, there's a high chance that you're experiencing posterior canalithiasis. So the first position of this maneuver is the testing position. So even if you haven't gone through the test, you can do that and stay there if you're experiencing symptoms and move right into the maneuver. But check out my video on how to test for it. It gives you a little bit more background. And here we go into how to treat posterior BPPV. So the first position that you're going to do, you're going to get onto your bed or table, whichever. I'm assuming that most people don't have a treatment table at home, but you're going to bring your legs up onto the bed. Now make sure you position yourself, because let's say that the right side is involved. You're going to end up on your left side, laying on your left side. So make sure that you position yourself kind of in the middle of the bed so that when you roll over, you're on the side of the bed where you can sit up. Now, if you're a little bit too far in the middle, it's going to be difficult to sit up. So you may have to figure this out as you go. But let's start with an example of the right side is involved. So you turned your head 45 degrees to the right, you laid down, and you had your head about 20 degrees in extension, and you experienced dizziness, described as a spinning sensation. Sometimes people describe it differently. Lasted about 15-20 seconds and then slowly went away. I would say that there's a high chance that it's BPPV. If you had somebody watching you, you may see your eyes kind of moving, what we call nystagmus, this kind of rhythmic motion of your eyes. Now, you're going to stay in that position with your head 45 degrees to the right and 20 degrees extended. You're going to wait until your symptoms go away and add 30 seconds. So for the symptoms to go away and at 30 seconds, you're going to be there about 1 to 2 minutes in each position. All right. So once the symptoms have gone away and you've added 30 seconds, the next position, you're going to turn your head to the left. Now, it's important that you keep your head in contact with the bed or the table when you rotate. Don't lift it up. So you're going to rotate to the left, and you're going to you're 45 degrees to the left, and you're going to keep that position for the same amount of time that you stayed in the first position, so about that 1 to 2 minutes. The duration of your symptoms plus 30 seconds. Now, once you've waited there for that amount of time, the next position is you're going to roll onto your left side and have your chin tucked towards your shoulder. So this, again, is important that you don't lift your head up and roll. Keep your head in contact with the bed or table and roll onto your left side while tucking your head into your shoulder, into your left shoulder if it's the right side. And you're going to wait in that position for the same amount of time as you did the first and the same amount of time you did in the second. So the duration of your symptoms plus 30 seconds. And when you've finished in that position, you're going to keep your chin tucked to your left shoulder and you're going to sit up. Now, I like to keep my chin tucked just for a little bit and then bring your head center and keep your chin tucked still, and then look straight ahead. And so that is what we call the modified Epley maneuver. 45 degrees to the right, lay down with your head 20 degrees extended, wait there for your duration of your symptoms plus 30 seconds, rotate your head to the left, wait there same amount of time, roll onto your left side, keep your chin tucked to your shoulder, and then sit up. Now that will help fix BPPV that's floating around in the posterior canal, and in that example, it's for the right posterior canal. Let's say you had the left side involved. You're going to do the same thing, just the opposite direction. So let's say the left side's involved. You're going to turn your head 45 degrees to the left, lay down with your head 20 degrees extended. Wait there, the duration of your symptoms plus 30 seconds. Rotate your head to the right, wait there the same amount of time, and then you'll lay onto your right side with your chin tucked to your right shoulder, and then wait there the same amount of time, and then you'll sit up. Now, this is going to work for posterior canal where those crystals are floating around in the canal. It can also help with anterior canal, or if those little crystals are floating around the anterior canal, although it's kind of debated on whether or not that actually occurs, just based off of how the anterior canal is oriented. Often they'll just if they do get up into anterior canal, they'll just drop back down. But, that is where I usually start if people have those little crystals floating around in that posterior canal. Now, if they're stuck to the cupula, there's a different maneuver that you want to be doing. You'll know if they're stuck to the cupula because when you lay down, your symptoms will persist. They'll last longer than a minute. If you've tried this maneuver, let me know what your experience was, if it helped, if it didn't. Write that down in the comments below. And check out my website for written directions on how to do this at vertigorecoverydr.com. And I'll link to that down below as well for that specific blog post. But thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.